Have you ever met someone whose presence alone commands respect, without them saying a word? What makes certain people natural leaders, while others struggle to inspire even those closest to them? If you've ever wondered how to earn respect not through authority, but through example, this video is for you. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and join a community that's focused on becoming better, stronger, and wiser every single day. 1. Leadership isn't about control. Leadership isn't about barking orders or standing above others with an air of superiority. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room, the one who demands obedience or insists on always being right. True leadership is quieter, more deliberate, and infinitely more powerful. It's not found in the act of commanding, it's found in the act of earning trust. Influence, not authority, is the true measure of a leader's strength. When a leader walks into a room and people listen, not because they must, but because they want to, that's real leadership. It's not about control, it's about connection. It's about guiding people towards something greater, not forcing them to submit to your will. A leader's power doesn't come from a title or position, it comes from example. Control breeds compliance, but example breeds commitment. The one who leads by fear creates silence, while the one who leads by respect inspires voices. To control others is a fleeting illusion, to influence them is a lasting legacy. A leader who feels the need to dominate has already lost the essence of leadership. Control is brittle, it shatters under pressure, but influence, rooted in integrity and purpose, bends and endures. It's the difference between forcing obedience and inspiring alignment. True leaders guide not by force, but by the clarity of their vision and the steadiness of their actions. They are consistent when others are erratic, patient when others are impulsive. They understand that chaos in leadership breeds confusion in followers. Calmness, therefore, is not passivity, it is power under restraint. When people see you making decisions with composure, when they see you act with fairness, even intention, they begin to trust your judgment. They realize that your choices come not from ego but from principle. That trust becomes the foundation of influence. A Stoic leader doesn't seek to manipulate outcomes through force. They act rightly and accept results with grace. They understand that leadership is less about managing others and more about mastering oneself. When you can lead yourself, your impulses, your emotions, your reactions, you no longer need to control others. You inspire them through your discipline. You become a mirror in which others see who they could be if they too practice that same inner steadiness. That's what makes influence so profound. It awakens something in others without ever needing to demand it. When people see you make decisions with calm conviction, they follow naturally, not because you ordered them to, but because they trust you. Leadership, in this sense, isn't a crown you wear. It's a responsibility you carry. It's not about being above others. It's about standing beside them, showing through action what courage and wisdom look like. Leadership is earned, not claimed. It's proven daily, not proclaimed once. To control others is to lead them through fear. To influence them is to lead them through love, respect, and the quiet power of example. 2. The Stoic core of leadership. The greatest leaders in history have shared one essential quality: Stoic discipline. From Marcus Aurelius on the battlefield to Nelson Mandela in confinement, their strength came not from external power, but from internal mastery. The Stoic leader understands that emotions are not enemies, but forces to be governed. Anger, pride, anxiety, these are natural, but they are not meant to be in command. A leader ruled by emotion is a danger to themselves and to those who follow them. But a leader who has learned to master reaction, to meet chaos with clarity, embodies the kind of strength people instinctively trust. Stoicism teaches that the only thing within our control is our own mind. The external world, fortune, politics, circumstance, is fleeting and unpredictable. The Stoic leader, therefore, does not waste energy on what cannot be changed. Instead, they direct their focus inward. They cultivate temperance, patience, and wisdom. They listen before speaking, think before deciding, and act only when the course is clear. This restraint isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. To hold one's composure when others lose theirs is to demonstrate true power. Respect begins with self-control. People may admire talent, charisma, or charm, but they trust consistency. They follow those who remain steady when storms arise. When a leader can stay grounded while everyone else panics, they become the anchor that holds the ship steady. Their calm presence reminds others that chaos is temporary, that clarity will return. They become the emotional center of gravity in the midst of turmoil. And this steadiness is what builds loyalty, not through fear or charisma, but through quiet, unwavering example. A Stoic leader also understands humility. They don't seek to appear perfect or infallible because they know perfection is impossible. Instead, they admit mistakes with honesty and adjust course with grace. Their ego does not demand to be right, it demands to be truthful. This humility doesn't weaken their authority, it strengthens it. People respect a leader who listens, who reflects, and who grows. The Stoic leader never allows pride to cloud judgment or resentment to dictate action. They serve not themselves but the mission, the greater good, and those they lead. Silent, steady strength is magnetic. It draws others not because it shouts, but because it resonates. The Stoic leader leads by energy, not noise. Their composure commands more attention than anger ever could. And in the end, this is the kind of strength people rally behind. The leader who acts with patience, speaks with purpose, and stands unmoved by the winds of emotion. The Stoic core of leadership, then, is mastery of the self. From that mastery comes the power to lead others, not by control, but by example. 3. Inspire through vision. A true leader does not simply react to the world, they envision a better one. Leadership is not a series of responses to problems, it is a direction toward possibility. To inspire others, you must see beyond the immediate. Vision gives meaning to effort and clarity to action. People respect leaders who can see what others cannot, who can look beyond the noise of the present and glimpse the form of a future worth striving for. Vision transforms leadership from mere management into movement. A visionary leader doesn't speak only in orders or tasks, they speak in purpose. They don't say, "Do this because I said so." They say, "Here's what we can create together." Their words open doors in people's minds. They awaken a sense of belonging to something larger than themselves. Whether you're leading a team, guiding a family, or building a community, your vision becomes the compass. It gives direction when uncertainty looms and courage when fatigue sets in. Without vision, effort becomes mechanical. With vision, it becomes meaningful. The Stoic leader, too, grounds vision in reality. They don't indulge in fantasy or empty promises. They align imagination with discipline. They understand that vision without action is illusion, and action without vision is chaos. So they balance both. They speak less about what should be done and show more of what can be done. Through consistency and example, they turn ideals into habits. Their life becomes the living proof of their principles. This is why people follow them, not because of slogans or speeches, but because they embody the very values they ask of others. To inspire through vision is to become a mirror of potential. When people look at you, they should see not perfection, but purpose. They should feel that your clarity helps them find their own. The best leaders ignite inner fire in others by walking steadfastly in their own light. They teach not through instruction but through demonstration. They live in such a way that others say, "If they can stand firm, so can I." That is inspiration, not manipulation, not motivation for a day, but transformation for a lifetime. Lead with purpose, and others will find purpose in following you. Leadership rooted in vision is contagious. It multiplies strength. It doesn't just build followers, it builds future leaders. Each person you inspire becomes a torchbearer for the same flame of integrity and hope. That's the Stoics' way of leading through vision, not chasing control, not craving recognition, but serving as a steady light that helps others see where to go. When you live your vision, you don't just lead, you elevate. And in that elevation, others rise with you. 4. Real-life example, the respected coach. Think about that one coach everyone talks about, the one whose players give everything for him. You can see it in the way his team walks onto the field, unified, confident, ready to fight not just for victory but for each other. He doesn't need to scream, curse, or wave his authority around to get results. His power comes from presence, not volume. Every action, every word carries weight, because his players know that when he speaks, it's from a place of experience, fairness, and care. He is consistent, never playing favorites, never sacrificing his values for short-term gain. When he demands excellence, it's because he lives by that same standard himself. His authority is quiet but absolute, built over time through countless small acts of integrity. This coach doesn't lead through fear. He doesn't rely on punishment to motivate, because he understands something deeper. People don't give their best out of fear, they give their best out of respect. When players trust their leader, they run harder, listen closer, and push through pain not because they're afraid to fail, but because they don't want to let that person down. That trust is sacred. It's the invisible thread that holds the entire team together, even in moments of chaos or defeat. When things fall apart, his players look to him, and he stands firm, steady, calm, collected. He doesn't throw blame. He takes responsibility. He doesn't dwell on what went wrong. He focuses on how to make it right. His leadership becomes a mirror for his team's behavior. They begin to model his composure, his resilience, his belief that discipline and unity always outweigh raw talent or luck. When the team loses, he doesn't humiliate or ridicule. Instead, he guides. He takes the loss as a lesson, helping each player see what can be learned, what can be improved, what can be strengthened, and when they win, he never takes the credit. He points to his players, their effort, their courage, their teamwork, as the real reason for success. In that humility lies his greatness. His satisfaction doesn't come from applause or recognition. It comes from seeing growth, from knowing that his players are not only better athletes, but better human beings under his guidance. Such leadership transforms the culture of a team. The locker room becomes a place of mutual respect instead of fear. Mistakes become opportunities instead of failures. The players start leading one another, carrying the coach's lessons into every corner of their game and their lives. They learn that leadership isn't about domination. It's about service, consistency, and self-mastery. This is the Stoic kind of leadership in motion, calm under pressure, unwavering in principle, guided by virtue rather than ego. In a world that often confuses power with authority, this coach stands as proof that true strength lies in self-control, fairness, and integrity. He doesn't demand respect, he earns it every single day. 5. The ripple effect of true leadership. When you lead with integrity, your influence spreads far beyond what you can see. Like ripples in a pond, every act of fairness, every moment of patience, every choice to stay calm instead of reacting in anger, carries outward, touching lives you may never meet. People begin to sense something different about you, a steadiness, a quiet strength, and without realizing it, they start to mirror that energy. Your calm becomes their calm. Your composure in crisis gives them permission to breathe. Your discipline inspires theirs. This is the unseen power of true leadership. It multiplies itself through example, not command. Leadership built on respect is contagious. It changes the culture around it. When someone leads with honesty and humility, others begin to feel safer doing the same. The tone of conversations shifts from defensive to constructive. The focus moves from blame to improvement. Over time, integrity becomes the standard, not the exception. People stop competing for recognition and start working for purpose. That's when teams, families, and communities begin to thrive, not because they're told to, but because they genuinely believe in the shared mission. The leader's behavior becomes the foundation of trust upon which everything else is built. Even beyond the immediate circle, the effect endures. The people you lead today carry your lessons into their own worlds tomorrow. A player becomes a coach, a student becomes a mentor, a colleague becomes a leader. They remember not what you said, but how you lived. They remember how you made them feel, respected, valued, capable. And in honoring your example, they extend your legacy, often without even realizing it. That's how character multiplies across generations, through lived example, not through speeches or slogans. This ripple effect is what makes leadership a moral responsibility. Every decision, every word, every moment of self-control or lapse in integrity echoes outward. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." The principle applies just as much to leadership. Don't talk about what a good leader should do, show it. Because once you embody it, the world around you starts to change. Legacies are not written in titles, trophies, or followers. They are written in the lives you've quietly shaped. A true leader's influence cannot be measured in numbers because its reach is invisible and enduring. It lives in the calm of a teammate facing pressure, in the honesty of an employee choosing the right path, in the confidence of a child who believes they can do better. That's the ripple effect of integrity. It begins small, but over time, it reshapes everything it touches. That is how real leaders, like the respected coach, leave their mark, not through dominance, but through the quiet power of example. So here's your challenge. Lead in one small way today. Encourage someone. Offer guidance. Stay calm when it's easier to react, because every act of leadership plants the seed of respect. If you found this message valuable, hit subscribe and keep building the version of you that others look up to. Not because you demand it, but because you've earned it.